perfectly derive the average. The average which is now existing on brands, on data, like just perfect average, which is great for like research purposes. But for example, the point of positioning of a new product is actually to develop something new.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't work. And then you try, no, but be different. But like, how to say, we're working with their own data and it's trying to think as average.
So what areas of marketing do you think that AI can actually create the biggest difference? According to you, which parts of the process that artificial intelligence can transform to reach more customers and ultimately a better success in the market?
And for example, sometimes when you see an ad on, on social media, you understand that here, they are trying to trigger my trauma of that in here. And they want me to buy a product so that I do not feel that bad. So, like even this understanding would prevent you from doing things. It's actually not about you, but you are being manipulated towards.
Today, we have a pleasure of hosting an exceptional guest joining us from the capital of peace, Geneva, Switzerland. Our guest today is Natasha Cristin, a product marketing manager and brand strategist whose career spans global corporations. With over a decade of international experience in brand building, go-to-market strategy, commercial growth, and brand positioning, Natasha supports ecosystems of startups and defining the use of AI to transform product marketing. A warm welcome to our podcast, Natasha. It is really great to have you here. It's a privilege.
Thank you. Thank
actually.
you.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for accepting my invite. Welcome to the And Defined podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm very good.
Okay.
And what about you?
All right. So I would like to start the conversation about product marketing first. So people think the product marketing is something that it's merely like an advertising a product. There's nothing more than that. So I would love to hear your view on this. What exactly does product marketing involve? If two companies are selling an identical product, what makes the customer choose one product over the other?
So that's like honestly my most favorite, and that's the question. Let's say I'm fighting about this question all the time. It's my pain point. It's my pain point when people see marketing as advertising. It's honestly, it makes my blood boil. I can't. I can't. So let's say you've hit a spot. So let's say the idea. So I call myself an old school marketer. What it means, old school in my, let's say, way, it's, let's say, traditional marketer. But traditional, it doesn't mean that, like it's outdated. It doesn't mean that, like I'm using horses and not the cars. It means that we're still building the same thing that it was below, like over the last 100 years. What's the point of marketing for me, and the point of product marketing specifically? It's that we develop the right product for the right people at the right time with the right price, and let's say, and then we don't only and then we find the ways to launch it in the most correct way, and doing all that so that it can have by it I mean business and brand, long-term sustainable commercial success. So because like the first part, it's actually easy to do. Like many people succeed with that, but the hard part in terms of like launch and all this fancy go to market, but that's actually, you face reality after, and it's not just after launch, but it's actually how do we sustain, maintain, and actually make the product succeed, or what kind of other product life cycle we introduce, or what kind of other product lineups or features, like how we make it all work together as a brand and as a product system. So this for me is product marketing. And that's, I call it always this invisible part of marketing, but it's actually this like 80% which you cannot see. But then people can see only 20%, which is your advertising. Everyone loves advertising, but that's only because we can see it. But you cannot see what goes actually behind it to make sure that advertising works. And
Okay.
that's this, like this is the things that your size of market, what is your positioning, what makes you better than competition, how we serve our customers, what kind of value we give to our customers, all these things. And this obviously helps to make amazing advertising. And
Wow.
then answering your question in terms of how to make two, like similar
I think,
companies
yeah.
and differentiate if they are the same. But let's say I'm always starting with the customer.
Okay.
And that's, I would say, in this sense, going deeper, 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 and then we find the ways to differentiate. Are we solving the same, let's say, problem of the two companies
Okay.
for the customer? Are we, let's say, are we more talking about the emotional needs or the functional needs? So, and around that, we will be building the product and the brand that maybe is more perfectly designed for this
Okay.
customer or for that customer.
Wow. That's quite an insight. That's a new definition for product marketing, by the way. Thank you so much for sharing that. Here's something very interesting we picked up from your profile. We learned that you have a specific strategy to shape a product while it is being built to win in the market tomorrow. My question to you is, what is the secret strategy that you use to understand and determine whether a product is ready for the market success and will reach more customers tomorrow before the launch? I mean, after the launch.
Well, the secrets, I also have, I didn't release it yet, but I have one video that I shot of myself where
Oh,
I'm dressed, let's say, as a fortune teller.
oh,
And
okay.
my, let's say, joke was that this is how people see marketers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, neither marketers, no finance planners, like none of those people,
Okay.
nobody can predict future. So, there is unfortunately this thing. But what we can do based on our, let's say, already knowledge and understanding, you've seen this enough to be able to understand the pattern to maximize the chances of success, but it's still, unfortunately not fortune telling.
Okay.
So I would say one big thing is what helps to predict the success. First of all, the key one, and this one, it's not even predict success, it's just the mandatory thing is the fact that this product is making the life of the customer better, well,
Okay.
easier, anything. So pretty much
Okay.
there is a real customer problem that this product is solving.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds very basic, so it's like, yeah, okay, clear. But you can't imagine how many products I've seen
Mm-hmm.
that do not do that. And this seems so basic and, like not even fun to talk about. But way too many, let's say, people, and here I'm talking about startup world, a bit different vibes. You would assume that they are very into customer, 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 like all that. But there is, let's say, way too many things going the way. For example, people compete with each other, or they want to introduce a new product because your competitor did that, but then actually, didn't we forget the customer? Like in the middle of this, or like some I want to introduce this product because it's the most innovation on the market. I want to change the world and etc., which are great things, but like behind all that, does this product solve a customer need? Does this product bring customer the value that customer will be willing and happy to use it, and which is more important, and we can't forget, willing and happy to pay for it? Because it's great to change the world, it's great to introduce, like all those things, amazing, but like your success will be measured by the number of people who use it and
Okay.
keep using it and keep liking it
Okay.
and keep like recommending it to friends, so like keep on ongoing this process. But the only reason why they would ever do it, it
Mm-hmm.
brings them value, which can be anything, emotional value too, feelings, or anything. But if this doesn't, there is no
No,
commercial success in plan.
wow. Viewers, did you see the intensity of information we are getting here? So we'll do one thing. I have a plan. We are going to divert our guests with many questions. And at last, I'm going to get back to the same secret strategy again to get more information on this because our guests seem to have a lot of strategies. Thank you so much, Natasha. What you shared is a true insight of about a lot of things, a lot of approaches we have to do before the launch of the product. Guys, there's also something which I would like to share is Natasha's LinkedIn profile, which I'm giving in the group, the video description. You can learn tons of things. Just you can follow the post. So I'm just sharing it. Natasha, throughout your experience, is there anything like you felt so fascinating, any information at all? Perhaps it can be a market shift that has happened recently, or something that some certain particular moments that change the way you think about product marketing or business. Anything you would like to share?
That's such a deep philosophical question that I will take like a few seconds to think about it. Honestly, I would say the very big, I wouldn't say revelation, but every time I do it, it's like a revelation for me. So I would say maybe this is what I learned. So I started my career in automotive marketing.
Okay.
And the automotive, well, first of all, it's a big corporation, but it's also automotive. So it's like the products which take, I would say, one of the longest maybe possible on the market in terms of development, in terms of launch. So, like it's a very long life cycle. It's a very long, you cannot just quickly change something in terms of your features. You cannot. It's not possible. So it's particular. And then I went into, like more small businesses, startups, innovation, technology, and etc. And I was getting some feedback in terms of, yeah, but like this is how you were doing it in a corporation, or it's automotive. It's not how we do it here.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, it's exactly how, like this whole idea, it's the same, like, and somehow, maybe, like startup and innovation vibes would deny the idea of, like big corporation, let's say, marketing or approach. But on the other side, they exactly wanted to become a corporation in the sense, like not maybe thousands and millions of people working for it. But, like you still need a system, you need how things work, and it doesn't change in different niches.
Okay.
It's the same. And that's the thing. Even if you're having the product which takes 10 years to develop, or if you have a product which now with AI takes, I don't know, 3 nights to develop, it follows the same idea in terms of how you launch it, how you build a business out of it, how you need a brand to build it. So, and this to me, every time I'm actually going into a new niche, I'm hoping to find something like, okay, something like so unique that I need to grasp. It's like, no, but it's just the new name of the same thing we would do, like it's just the new way you describe it, but the sense just stays the same.
So, Natasha, you have been building AI assisted product marketing workflows. So, what areas of marketing do you think that AI can actually create the biggest difference? According to you, which parts of the process that artificial intelligence can transform to reach more customers and ultimately a better success in the market?
So I would say I use AI a lot for marketing, and I'm building my own product marketing workflow. And this is just in the way that I'm separating, like the whole process into many, many, many different processes and seeing how now with current tools, is it possible to optimize and make the process more efficient, make it whatever quicker, easier, and etc. So my favorite, obviously, let's say AI will be huge and it's already huge in marketing. But then we are talking about, like again, the advertising, Marcom, and like product side. On my product side, I would say the biggest usage now I see, I'm not saying it's the only one, but like the biggest positive impact I feel, it's in terms of research. because this is a very long, like when you do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
it's a long and tedious work
Mm-hmm.
of go in terms of research, in terms of market trends, like microeconomic trends, your competitors, like this, how we used to do it before, go in online, go into this page, reading this, then go in deeper and deep, and then you never can stop, you never know, like you go first 10 pages of Google, you are like, okay, 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 and then you like try to make all these big pieces of data. Is it useful, is it useless, do we need it? So, like it's all like big ball of something, and then you like try to structure the data and get some kind of proper correct insights so that you can move further. So for this, let's say, research and analysis of this, like, as for now we don't know if this data is good or bad, needed to know, but like this ideas, that's perfect, because this it can do very quick. And this, like, I'm not saying, I never use AI as, let's say, 100%, okay, it told me that, I do that. No, but it is a perfect, like, first big step. And for example, in research, it's perfect first 80% step. So I always say AI for me is my marketing assistant. So, like, you give it's a job to do, but it doesn't mean that when it comes to you as a presentation that you just like take it and okay, if you say so. No, 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 no. We're gonna read every research. Where did you take the data? Then I'm gonna click there. Is the data correct? Didn't you lie? So, like, just due diligence. But in general, for me, that's, let's say, this work. If talking more about creative side, by creative, I mean already, for example, defining positioning or defining the
Mm-hmm.
brand stuff. Or obviously then coming further, defining what is our communication strategy, launch strategy, go to market. I would say I'm less working with AI on that, like, in this sense, because in terms of, I don't know, level of creativity or level of pattern recognition, like, but just on the human side, because we still, let's say, all of the customers of the product are humans.
Yes,
So it
exactly.
should be, like, I don't know, there is something there still, which I think only human can do because we do it for humans.
Yeah.
AI can perfectly derive
Mm-hmm.
the average which is now existing on brands, on data, like just perfect average, which is great for like research purposes. But for example, the point of positioning of a new product is actually to develop something new.
Yeah.
So like it's just, it doesn't work. And then you try, no, but be different. But like, how to say, we're working with their own data and it's trying to think as average, let's say person, average brand strategist, average, but we're trying to create something new.
Mm.
So that's, let's say, that's where I'm sort of saying issue, but that's where I use AI much less. But for example, I use AI a lot in creative process, but for example, more like, I don't know, very uh, creative consultant in terms of, but like I separate my questions so much and just maybe ask it to give me some kind of, I don't know, maybe crazy idea so that I can just take it, because my brain is still a human brain. It can hold this much data, while AI can hold all of it. And it can maybe, for example, give me some crazy idea that I can like think, aha, with that I can do that.
Mm.
But I'm the one making the connections. Especially
Yeah.
much I use AI for this like pieces,
Mhm.
that I'm the one, first of all, in charge, that I know what I ask for and why, and what kind of connection I'm going to make here, and make, for example, this for a campaign. But it would have never given it to me itself,
Mm.
because that's where, like a bit of humanity is still needed.
Yes. That's a wonderful explanation. And you also compared human and AI intelligence. That's exactly my next question is you said you will not use AI all time. So say if AI automates everything, pretty much every task, every business workflow, what do you think in the course of next 10 years will remain for the humans to do?
The big, let's say, I'm talking just marketing wise. The big ones would be definitely empathy. And
Okay.
that's one, I think it's very big, and like I think it's already big now before we automated everything, in the
Yeah.
sense for even like brands
Mm.
and products and the way we communicate, the way we launch and products we launch and the innovations. So pretty much the empathy, the way that you understand what kind of emotions your customer is feeling, and you, let's say again, introduce this product or brand with this understanding in mind, so that this product or brand can be there with your customer on his journey. So it's pretty much again, like more on the emotional level of, like connection, like the connection we have to brands and etc. This will not go anywhere, and I think it will have to go much bigger,
Okay.
because this will be the way we differentiate brands and products. And the other big one is, well, it's actually similar in the sense, is storytelling.
Okay.
I would say, and that's, I think it's just our human brains.
Okay.
I don't think we can yet put the human brain in a long story of a human brain into AI, in the sense, for example, how we experience stories and all this, like just big stories. So that's also, I think, that's only we as humans connect.
Mhm.
And I don't think AI gets it yet, but it's also, I think, will be one of the key ways to differentiate products and brands in terms of, again, the storytelling around it. I think we will be moving from more feature and utilitarian value of the product and brand towards the story that people want to be a part of by purchasing the brand, by purchasing the product. And this, I think, AI is not going to be replacing anytime soon. And honestly, I would say also creativity again. Creativity in the sense, I think AI is perfect, but AI is a perfect structure. So like A, B, C. It's like a perfect, I don't
Yeah.
know, Excel.
It's
It's a
true. It's true.
structure.
Yeah.
And but that's, I think, the beauty of creativity, which comes from a human, that it can, like just fully destroy the structure or
Yeah.
go exactly the other way. And AI cannot, I think this way, because it's exactly goes against its key thinking. So that's, I think, actually will be the beauty of maybe even imperfection, because everything, for example, we can see now with AI, be it campaigns, be it, I don't know, posts on social media, or even some products which are being built with AI, just purely with AI sitting at home by vibe coding. Let's say they are perfect. And
Mm.
they're perfect in the sense how they look, how they, like written, your positioning statement, your mission statement, your hero, all
Exactly.
this is perfect. And we, again, as humans, we don't like, we like scroll it, but we don't remember. We
Mm.
actually connect on imperfection, which can be, again, your failure, you something is just not going the perfect way, like we connect on imperfection, and this is something AI cannot do. And that's why creativity and storytelling, this is what this imperfect power of humanity, which I think will still stay.
Wow. Yes, I hope so. So, every generation, builds something that is very advanced comparing to the last generation. Let it be, we had fuel-driven cars. Today, we have automated, intelligent, driverless cars. We had computers those days. Today, we have artificial intelligence. So, my question is about innovation. So, talking about innovation, what do you think that the best way for our better future is? Should we prioritize the innovation for a better future, or we should pause for a while, just pick up what all the things we've already created, utilize it to the maximum, and by using that we have to create a better future? What's your view on this?
Uh, well, my view is innovation is the way to go, and that's obvious. But again, now, and I am talking from startup
Mhm.
experience, and
Mhm.
seeing many, let's say, innovation products and innovation like we should do this and that. Maybe we as society are going too much in terms of, let's do more innovation here, innovation there. And it feels more like lots of talking and not enough of doing, and not enough of actually releasing this innovation. So that's the issue. I think there is lots of, like small things in terms of innovation that people want to do,
Okay.
but the, like maybe way too much of it is just, like a perfect curtain named innovation.
Mm.
Again, maybe ideally, here I want to put on my hat of an old school marketer. Let's go to Excel and count our unit economics. Let's
Okay.
count our revenues. Let's count, which is also very important, the size of the market.
Mm.
And actually, because I've seen quite a bit of innovations, great, but
Mm.
there is not enough market for them.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Like we can talk that we need innovation, and we do as society.
Mm.
But if you innovate in a very small market, and this, I'm talking about a whole planet, the need is very small,
Mm.
your innovation might not, like be financially very
Mm.
viable. And then it results in the fact that it actually will fail, and
Mm.
no one will pick up on this innovation, make something more innovative after, and
Mm.
etc etc. The whole cycle fails. So that's what I'm saying. It sounds very, well, boring, but sometimes doing good for the world and for the whole innovation, like ahead of all of us, it's also doing innovation where and for whom it actually is, like feasible.
Okay.
I'm saying always like the phrase, like like we don't need to create to develop socks for capybaras, which might be the
Okay.
most innovative idea ever, like socks for capybaras.
Yeah.
But first of all, there are not many capybaras actually. How
Okay.
many of them are wearing socks?
Okay.
Who is making the decision for capybaras to wear socks? And is
Okay.
there a market? Like it's innovative, but is there a need?
Mm.
And then I think many, let's say, people, when they introduce the innovative product, might think, okay, but the world will still change. I will introduce, the behavior will change.
Mm.
It's very long to change customer behavior. And that's why my, like approach to innovation is quite, I would say, rational.
Mm.
Innovation is great. But let's say innovate where it can move further in terms of the business and in terms of the product, because let's say waiting a bit for this ideal world, customer behavior will change. It takes time.
Okay.
It takes time.
All right. So that's an excellent example, by the way. So, my last question to you, Natasha, beyond your product marketing career, you have been a part of many social and community-driven initiatives. Imagine if there is a position of Chief Executive Officer of the entire planet Earth, and United Nations appoints you to solve one global problem. What would you choose and why?
Well, let's still keep it to marketing, like for the sake of,
Okay.
like
Okay.
like I think it's more correct, like because that's still my area of expertise.
Anyway you like. Yeah, yes.
Um, like a great initiative, I think, would be, you know, education and learning on
Okay.
this,
Hmm.
more, like on the business side. I think that would be great. And I think, like we all have very standard classes across the world and to schools and etc. But I do not think we have enough of understanding of things that actually do matter later in life.
Okay.
For example, talking more about, like even business and marketing. And
Okay.
even if you do not do business and marketing, there are some things which are extremely important. And for example, as a CEO of everything, I would not have introduced this specific one. But, I always say marketing would be, if marketing would be a baby, its parents would be economics and psychology.
Mm.
And that's for me the two very important aspects that I think actually everyone should understand well.
Wow.
And for example, like even psychology, it's in the sense of how we understand ourselves, how we understand others. And for example, sometimes when you see an ad on, I don't know, on social media, you understand that here, they are trying to trigger my, I don't know, my trauma of that in here, and they want me to buy a product so that I do not feel that bad. So, like even this understanding would prevent you from doing things it's actually not about you, but you are being manipulated towards. So I would
Okay.
say maybe some more education and understanding of these things of, like business and psychology working together, and that you are more in control. But it's also maybe so that we as society move towards more, I would say, respectful and double way respectful selling, business and product development without manipulation, without, like pushing triggers, without going deep into, like those things, and trying to, oh, you're gonna lose if you do not buy this, and etc. So
Honestly, this was a really enlightening conversation. We are very grateful for your presence in this podcast. It reminds us that innovation isn't about building a better product. It's entirely about building better possibilities for the people. So that's really wonderful. And thank you so much for all the incredible insights that you gave us. Thank you for your time. We wish you all success and have a wonderful day.
thank you. You too.